Not really. Hello. Okay. Introduction to SQL. Welcome to SQL World, a series of interactive lessons and exercises designed to help you quickly learn SQL right in your browser. So, what is basically the SQL is? So SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Structured Query Language is a language designed to allow both technical and non-technical users to query, manipulate, and transform data from a relational database. And due to its simplicity, SQL databases provide safe and scalable storage for millions of websites and mobile applications. Did you know there are many popular SQL databases including SQL, Site, MySQL, PostGIS, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server? All of them support the common SQL language standard, which is what the site will be teaching. But each implementation can differ in the additional features and storage types it supports. So, what is relational database mostly? Before learning the skill syntax, it's important to have a model for what a relational database actually is. A relational database represents a collection of related two-dimensional tables. Each of the tables are similar to an Excel spreadsheet with a fixed number of named columns, the attributes or properties of the table, and any number of rows of data. For example, if the Department of Motor Vehicles had a data set, you might find a table containing all the known vehicles that people in the state are driving. This table might need to store the model's name, type, number of wheels, and number of doors of vehicles, each vehicle, for example. So here's a data table that was given IDs. So ID is a unique ID, so you can't actually repeat the same ID for other one. So you have the unique ID. So this would be considered as a primary key also in some cases. Make or model name: Ford Focus, Tesla Roadster, Kawasaki Ninja, McLaren Formula One, Tesla. As wheels, how many wheels are there? For two, four-wheeler, two-wheeler, four-wheeler, four-wheeler, four doors, two doors, zero doors, and four doors. Sedan type: sports car, motorcycle, race, sedan. In such a database, you might find additional related tables containing information such as a list of all registered drivers in the state, the types of driving licenses that can be granted, or even driving violations for each driver. By learning SQL, the goal is to learn how to answer specific questions about this idea, about the data, like what types of vehicles are on the road, have less than four wheels, or how many models of cars does this laptop use, to help us make better decisions down the road. About the lessons, since most users will be learning SQL to interact with an existing database, the lessons begin by introducing you to the various parts of an SQL query. The later lessons will then show you how to alter a table or schema, create new tables from scratch. Each lesson will introduce a different concept and end with an interactive exercise. Go at your pace and don't be afraid to spend time experimenting with the exercises before continuing. If you happen to be familiar with SQL already, you can skip ahead using the links in the top right, but we would recommend you work through the lessons anyways. By then, though, we hope you will be able to have a strong foundation of using SQL in your own projects. Beyond, begin lesson 1: writing SQL queries. SQL lesson 1: select queries 101. To retrieve data from SQL database, we need to write select. So select is the first thing that you have to understand. That what is select? Select means is like if you use a if you're going somewhere, you want to buy something, so you always do the selection first. And then you select what products you need. So if you're going to buy a shirt, you just need to select which shirt you want to buy. Then if you want to buy more than one, then you can actually try it up. If you want to buy all the things that was presented, so you have to type extra or something else. So it depends on what you need to know, what your requirements, or what are the things you are actually required to see, which are often colloquially referred to as queries. A query in itself is just a statement which declares what data we are looking for, where to find it in the database, and optionally how to transform it before it is returned. It has a specific syntax, though, which is what we are going to learn in the following exercises. As we mentioned in the introduction, you can think of a table in SQL as a type of an entity, that is docs, and each row in that table has a specific instance of that type. That is a pug, a vehicle, a different colored pug, etc. This means that the columns would then represent the column properties, common properties shared by all instances of that entity. That is color of fur, length of tail, etc. And given table of data, the most basic query we could write about would be one that selects for a couple of columns properties of the table with all the rows instances. Select column, another column from my table. So you have to select the column. There is a several, like for example, if you have three columns, you have to name the columns, or you can actually select star or other things. So these three columns, like name, id or password, name, id, price, these are the things you have to select command. Then what you have to write the table name, that is the price table or other thing. Then it will show up the whole thing. So you will see that the result of this query will be a two-dimensional set of rows and columns, effectively a copy of the table, but only with the columns that we requested. If we want to retrieve absolutely all the columns of data from a table, we can use the asterisk shorten in place of listing all the column names individually. Select stir. Select query for all columns from my table. This query in particular is really useful because it is a simple way to inspect a table by dumping all the data at once. Exercise. We will be using a database with data about some of the Pixar's classic movies for most of our exercises. This first exercise will only involve the movies table, and the default query below currently shows all the properties of each movie. To continue on to the next lesson, alter the query to find the exact information you need for each task. So they have given you some task you have to fulfill. Find the title of each film. So you need to find the title, so that is the command. As they said, each film, so find the title of each film, that is. So now they have us find the director of each film. So where is the director? So you have to select, okay, you have select director. So from the table name, that is, what is the table name? That basically the table name movies. Okay, so okay, so that was you got the tables. What is the first? Find the title of each film. So we have tribe. Move. Sorry. Oh, find the title of each film. So you got the titles. Okay, next they ask you to find the directors of each column. So select director from movies. Okay, find the title and director of each film. So you have to write it a shortened way. Okay, let's write it. It doesn't matter with the letters because SQL is not case sensitive. So director from movies. So you got this. Now you have to find the year and title. So title is already given. Now you need to year from movies. Find all the information about each film. Now they have asked you to find all the information, like from movies, or you can actually single-handedly type all the things. So that is all from this part. So that is how you can actually find the data. So if you want to find IDs, you can actually type here ID. You can actually, if you want to find the titles, you can enter the title. If you want to find the director, yeah, from the director question, so you can just type select director. And if you want to find the years, then you have to put select, then after select you can put the year. There was the column heading name. So then if from the movies, if you want to find the length minutes, then you have to select the length minutes, so that eventually lead you to the length minutes. So that is all from this whole push, that is select star or other thing. So that's first one we have completed. So I hope all of you understand that's the first one. So how you do this, I will say that is very easy to understand. Skill is very easy, but mostly it is logical. So whenever you try to solve problems, that was logical.